the Residential Design and Build Video Network, in conjunction with Powerhouse Advisors, presents the Powerhouse Marketing Series.
Hello, I'm Wendy Cohen, President of Powerhouse Advisors, and we're talking about smart Powerhouse marketing tips. This week's session is about, should I establish a company website and why is it important? Well, if we start with the why, it's almost like it's absolutely a necessity to today's business. It would be like having a company without having a logo or having a sign. Today, every consumer, even if they don't find you on the internet and that's not how they come to you, is going to want to see your website and find out more about you on the internet. So it's just an absolute basic for any marketing, for any company today in any industry. So the whys are probably not as pertinent today to what are some of the basic elements I need to have in my website so that I make the best first impression and the best potential for having visitors to return to my website. So I'll start with, when you go to your website, if you, assuming you have one, and if you don't, you definitely want to listen to some of these ideas so that when you're establishing your website, you're starting from a good point forward. Your website has to have a fresh, interesting, commensurate to your image look. So when you go to your website, is it like, wow, this is a really interesting company. I wanna learn more. I might actually be interested in spending some time on this website. Keep in mind, the web viewer is usually very impatient, wants immediate response, and wants something that is a quick load. So the first thing you need to think about is, when I first go to my website, what's the first impression I get? Just like any time you make a first impression in meeting somebody. Secondly, you want to be thinking about your content. So when I talk about content, web content is very different than a brochure or a newsletter or even something that you might submit to the press. Web content, again, has to be very short, very witty, very interesting, draws you in kind of material. And of course, the web content needs to be written by somebody who understands what we call search engine optimization, SEO. Search engine optimization, in this particular case, we're talking about organic optimization, where your website would become apparent or come up when somebody is doing a Google search or a Yahoo search or an MSN search for a company similar to what you do in your industry. So if you're an architect or a builder, you would actually want to come up if somebody was searching for your type of a firm in your community. So if you lived in New York City, you would obviously want to make sure that the content or the copy on your website has that you actually do work in New York City and that you're an architect, and has keywords that really are associated with what you do and what somebody might be searching for, what they're looking for a firm like yours. Another aspect of your website is it should have a very enticing, motivating, what we call to action. Meaning, I'm going to go to your website, I'm going to fall in love because it's fresh and it's interesting and the copy is short and sweet and really has me intrigued. But then there's got to be a reason why I might be interested in talking with you, or at least getting onto your mailing list or learning more about you. So a call to action is a very important aspect of your website. It could be on every page, it could be on a specific page, and when that call to action is actually triggered by the visitor to your website, you actually want to have an automatic email reply so that the person understands that you know the mentality of today's consumer, and it's 24/7, immediate action, service beyond what we've experienced in the past, just 100% catering to the client. Another element to your website, which is probably for a lot of you going to be a little more new information, is blogging. If you have a blog connection on your website, then it can actually go directly to your blog, and this way your website might not be updated as often because your blog is consistently added to with new content, with user content, with new photos. So now you're using your blog as an additional tool to give you search engine optimization, and maybe your website might be updated on a quarterly basis, but your blog is updated as often as you want to, at minimum 2 to 3 times a week. Other elements that I do think is important to include in your website is your website presenting you in reflection of your brand? And we talk about branding in another one of our sessions that you can hear on Residential Design Build's website and through our Powerhouse Smart Marketing Tips series. But I do want to reiterate that everything that you do with your brand, including your website and your blog and your social media networking, should have a reflection of who you are and what makes you different, your brand strategy. So finally, the last thing, besides of course a contact page where somebody can not only connect to your call to action, but also can give you more information about themselves, maybe a project that they might be interested in, and a connection to your blog, is having opportunities for people to connect through your website to Facebook and LinkedIn and other social media sites, how to have an RSS feed to your website. I know a lot of these terms for many of you who may just be venturing into the world of websites might seem a little out there, but honestly, it's not out there. It's here, and it's been here, and it is actually very important for you to have those aspects. So please make sure before you embark, you sit down, you draw up a plan, you include a lot of the things that I've talked about today, talk to a professional. I would love to see you make the best use of your marketing dollars. For more information on this topic and other related topics, please visit us at our website at powerhouseadvisors.com. Click through to Powerhouse Smart, our blog, and you'll communicate with us and other industry-related professionals who can share great marketing tips. Have a great day. Thank you.